Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling in since 2002. This is my Short-Fuze Kitbash action figure. So I've been wanting a Short-Fuze for a while. He's one of the original 13. Hasbro still has not produced one. We haven't even seen Mortar equipment in all of the Joe line so far. I mean, we've seen laser rifle, we've seen bazookas, but we've never seen anything that looks like a Mortar gear in this line. So this is my Short-Fuze. Short-Fuze being one of the original 13, looks like Grunt and all the other guys, and that's good enough. Now it's a Kitbash, so I've made him look the way I want him to look. I think he's cool. Bunch of parts, and obviously the Tomytec gear. Let's look at this guy in detail. So I'm using the Tomytec 81mm L16 type kit in order to build the Mortar artillery equipment for Short-Fuze. These can be a bit pricey. I got it from eBay. It's probably something that's available in regular hobby stores, but I never checked there. It came straight from Japan. I've always found that the artwork on these and the figure that they use are kind of funny. I mean, girl art for something so military, but that's Tomytec. So assembling the kit is not very easy. It takes a while, and the parts are very fragile, as you can see. There are stress marks all over the place. But it's a great set. Technically, you should be able to store more ammo and rockets in there. Well, I guess it doesn't open anymore. Of course, they won't store in there for real because the inside is partially filled for the pegs to hold this thing together. So it comes with 2 rockets. Now this piece is the most complicated one. There are a lot of tiny parts, so it's not easy to adjust. But it's pretty nice. There's calibrating equipment in there. All of these are small parts that you have to assemble, so it'll take a while, take over an hour to assemble all of this. But once you've got it all, that's how it's going to look. Now I wish everything was green. In the picture I saw, everything was green. The cannon was also green, not just the ammo. But here they made parts of it is black, part of it is khaki green. I wish everything was green. You can see here the stress marks as I was getting them off the peg system. This part keeps falling on me. And so you have to be very careful when you play with this thing. It's very brittle, but that's exactly what Short-Fuze needed. I know Gridiron makes something similar to this, which is probably in the same ballpark, but I don't believe it's got the same assembly style. This is a kit. You can paint it probably, you can customize it more, but every little piece is detailed. Same thing for the viewfinder here, which I find is great equipment to calibrate where to target the rockets. Now I'm not a military guy at all, so I can't tell you more than that. This could be painted, could be some splash. So these look great. So I'm glad I've got this as part of my Joe arsenal. And then I've got a figure for that. Now this is the rocket. You can see some stress mark as I was removing it from that peg bar. It's very easy to break. And now Short-Fuze. Short-Fuze is obviously a kitbash of Grunt and other figures. Here's my Joe Colton figure. Now for Joe Colton, I've mentioned this in previous videos, I've used Falcon's ugly head. Joe Colton's supposed to be older, grizzled, so I think that he looks great on this version of Grunt. As a senior Joe. For those who don't know, Joe Colton is the first G.I. Joe character. The original G.I. Joe, I should say. And this is my Kitbash for Zap, the original bazooka guy. He's got a Tony Stark head. The neck feels a bit too long, but I still like the figure a lot. And finally, Short-Fuze, who's a total kitbash from a bunch of parts. Let's start with the easy part. The shoulder part, the shoulder pads are from this Falcon, the Night Force Falcon. Now I felt that this guy being very bulky, it looked kind of weird on him, and too bulky on him also. But if you put that on Short-Fuze, it looks just right. He doesn't look so bulky anymore. I think it's a good match. He needs that protection because of this thing. He needs a bit of protection, and I think that's the right way of going about it. Some of the ammo, maybe I'll figure out a way of making sure this can peg somewhere. Maybe it could peg here. Nope. Well, it wasn't built for that, that's for sure. No. There's no way of pegging this, so he's got to carry this manually. He's got the exact same gear pack as Grunt, so machine gun and the G.I. Joe rifle here. Obviously, I did not remove his name from this. The head is the same. Now, Short-Fuze has glasses or a visor on his helmet. I couldn't find a helmet that would fit properly. For example, this guy's helmet did not fit the head that I used. Neither is the Duke that I've also used. So I improvised. In the comic, Short-Fuze also has glasses, so this is perfect for him. Now, the head is from Kamakura. Oops, I don't want to remove the head too much because I don't want to adjust the glasses, but this is a Kamakura head, which fits in. Short-Fuze is blonde in the comic, and Kamakura is red hair, but let's just say Short-Fuze is a reddish blonde kind of guy. So it works for me. Now the neck peg is perfect on this. It's a perfect fit. Unlike this guy, whose neck is a bit too long, this guy is a perfect fit. The glasses that I use came with leather neck. So I just got leather neck yesterday. So I've already put the glasses to good use. And I think that makes for very cool looking Short-Fuze. Short-Fuze is one of the original 13 green guys, and having a bit more padding here makes him look more protected than if it were on Falcon. So how does the 81mm L16 type motor works? Well, it's a 3-man operation. You got Short-Fuze here, who's going to shoot the rocket. You can shoot several per minute. And then we've got Zap. It's going to be reloading this thing next. And obviously we have a spotter around here. Joe Colton. The ammo's here. Now the 81mm is not exactly something that's used by the US Army. It's used by the British Army. And it's been in operation since 1965. I don't know what American troops use, but this is what the British would be using. But in my universe, because that's the one I've got, that's what my Joes are going to be using. And I still think it looks nifty as a playset. So, did you make yourself your own Short-Fuze? Let me know. Share, like, and subscribe. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002.